Good evening, everyone. Myself, Grishma Rawal, and we are gathered here for the net set guidance lectures. And today we have Miss Tamsa Pandya among us, and she is going to talk about the contemporary cultural theories from food studies to trauma studies. And she is currently pursuing her research degree from our department. And her topic is focused on controversial literature with a strong emphasis on cultural studies. And she has also published several research papers and also one article in this field. And additionally, she has also participated in over 22 national and international conferences regarding the same, where she has presented research papers on various related topics, which she is going to talk about today. So, from all of us, I warmly welcome you, ma'am. The stage is yours.
Okay, so very good evening to everybody. First of all, thank you very much all the students for being here in front of me. Thank you, Bharat sir, and both the ma'ams for providing me this stage. So, and I also welcome the other students who are going to attend this session and coming from outside. So, thank you very much to them as well. We already learned so much things about cultural studies. Vaidehi ma'am already talked about you what is culture and how culture functions itself, right? So I'm not going to go in detail about what is culture and how cultural study is supposed to be studied by the students or how teachers are supposed to teach you. All of you are might be aware of everything. Okay, I hope I'm audible enough or not. Hello. Okay. Yeah. So first we'll start with this trauma study without wasting much time because you already wasted much more time. So trauma studies, I name itself says everything, has rooted in Freudian psychoanalysis, which examines extreme experience that challenge the limits of language and meaning. See, all the text which I mentioned here is very useful, which are going to, ask in net GSET examination, which you are going to appear in soon, right? So first, keep noting everything, okay? Because I'll give you the PPT, but noting things will be, more handy to you. Okay, the first is words of hurt, reading the literature of trauma. Then we have unclaimed experience, trauma, narrative, and history in 1996. So basically, what is trauma studies actually is that it is an interdisciplinary academic field that study the psychological, cultural, social, historical, and literary dimensions of trauma. Aghat, we can say in Hindi and Gujarati as well as, okay? Aghat, we all understand that. Okay, it affects on individual, group, or society. See, trauma is something that reflected by the people, individual personality. Trauma you all understand, I think. If not, then I'm supposed to teach, but I hope you understand what is trauma is actually. Okay, it can be reflected by the group of people or the society. For example, I'll give you the example of the people who witnessed this earthquake in 2001, right? So when you heard their experiences, right, these are very traumatic and tragic experience they shared with us. Individually, if we talk the impact of trauma in individuals mind, for example, imagine a girl or a boy child growing watching parents fighting or watching the witness of domestic violence, for instance, if we say, right? The way he reflect in their childhood, okay, that experience of beating, watching own mother beating by his father, well, again a very traumatic moment. Or for example, if we see the girl child who raped in the childhood. So if you come to know and you ask the experience of these people in their adulthood, then you come to know how trauma is actually reflecting in their personality. The trauma studies are systematic study of trauma's impact on mind, body, memory, narrative, the way people narrate this thing, right? And culture across the discipline. Trauma is analyzed not just as an individual experience, but also as a collective, cultural, and systematic phenomenon influenced by social factors, power structures, and ongoing marginalized. Okay, we have shortage of time, so I'm not going in much detail, but I hope you understand. If you don't understand, please raise your hand and ask me. Okay, then we have a body study, right? see, cultural studies is a very progressive branch. Every time we can say that so many things are keep on adding in cultural studies. This way, this particular field is a very developing. Every time you go, you ask the people, a new theory comes out. Okay, so this time we have very contemporary study is body study, starting from Heidegger, who asserted the role of body in self knowledge, the importance of human body against the mind, because the way we have the idea of the body is different. Like ideal body we imagine is totally different, and the way cultural study teach or try to teach is again something different. Okay, cultural identity is shown through the things like clothing, the way we dressed up ourselves, the way we carry jewelry, hairstyles, tattoos, if you have seen, and bodybuilding and food habits. That is how cultural studies study the body studies. And our way of looking body is again a different. Okay, the way we see body is a different thing. It also look at how body is controlled and limited by the social rules, surveillance, and cultural practices. All we are coming here with, with a certain dress, like, you cannot come when you go out, you may look different, and when you come here, you may look different. It means you are controlled by the power structure, and you are supposed to be in a certain way, like you look like an academician or a student, right? So this way, body study differs. Concept from thinker like Michel Foucault highlight how power operates through on bodies and leading recipes to control. Okay. Then we have fat studies. Okay. Try to note this all the articles which I presented here. Okay, because it is high possibility that this can be asked in the NET examination or GSET examination, right? Fat study is a kind of emerging branch in academic study. Fat study draws mostly from the feminist theory. As we know that watching a female fat is still how problematic it is. We all are aware of, right? So this fat study by Taylor Francis journal, which discuss various representation of and implications of fat body in media, literature, films, and advertisement. The way our society look a fat woman or a man, and the way literature looks this fat study is totally different. That is why we study cultural studies. Sorry, fat study challenge the negative associations and moral judgment directed at fat bodies, right? The way we have negative judgment in society about fat studies is literally the concept that one can ponder upon and understand that how morally inappropriate it is, right? Fat study analyze how fat people are represented in various cultural forms, including media, art, and popular culture, right? uh, uh, I don't know whether you have seen, this memes of fat people, which is like highly controversial thing. Okay, so this way our popular culture and this our popular culture see and the way we see is totally different, including media, art, and popular culture, and how these representations contribute to or challenge prevailing social norms. So here we have this two example. One is a movie Normally, which is now banned, I think, because I watched in my childhood. And other than we have this Tamlaka Kesh, I think all of us have seen. Okay, yes. So here we'll see how cultural study, try to examine this, that how to study this type of things. See, in the end of this Norbit movie, a man marries to a slim girl, rejecting the very idea of having fat woman in life criticized by the in society. So he decided to marry a slim girl, and the whole movie framed as a kind of derogatory to the fat people, those who have chubby or we can say fatty bride, wife, what we can say, or a girlfriend, right? On the other hand, we have this dam laga ke haisha, then man initially does not like the woman, actually her wife, but in the last he falls in love with her with the same frequency. So this is the gap that cultural studies actually study. This is what moral judgments are. This is how they try to teach that this is how we are supposed to study in cultural study. Okay, the banned movies are not at all available, but we can take idea if you have seen that movie, which is highly derogatory and controversial, and later it was banned due to these things. Okay, so this is the way that gap we can study here. Then we have porn study. Do not narrow down your thinking. Porn study has a different thing. Okay, so the essay titled by in this written by Finnish media theorist Susan and Katrina trace the evolution of porn trash from physical collection to digital collection and identify cyber porn as a site of identity formation. This is an important text with porn studies. With the digital revolution, porn studies place close attention to how technology has transformed the production, distribution, accessibility, ethics surrounding the pornology. Pornology is something, a kind of subject, right? With the evolution of technology, some things are, easy to assess. You know what I'm talking about, right? A 5-year boy or a girl can see the same thing as the 80 plus student can, or people can see, right? So this is what the revolution of things are, in a way, a bit harmful to us. And that is what porn study in cultural studies doing. So it was a bit a tough slide, so I make it easier for you. So definition of according to cultural perspective is that porn study is defined as a critical examination of pornography as a cultural text and practice that produces meaning about sexuality, desire, gender, race, power within the specific historical and social context. So many web series are made, movies are made, which are, where censorship does not work there. Okay, where you come to know that it is, openly, we can say that people openly demonstrate this sexuality desire in some of web series. Okay, I hope you understand this, which is not available to all. Okay, so this how we can study that how power structures work there, and what according to the perspective of culture study, how cultural studies and students of cultural studies can see this pornology actually. So basically pornography focuses how pornography construct the ideas of sex, first of all, right? Intimacy, masculinity, femininity, queerness, race, and bodies. The way some web series are demonstrating this all relations are a bit problematic, controversial, and the way it is connected to woman is again a very dead, because we are living in a not so patriarchy, but we are living in socially bounded norms where we are not supposed to show something or not supposed to watch in between the families, right? So this way cultural study raises the idea that everything is supposed to be part of study but supposed to be morally right. Approach that porn studies are dealing with is using feminist theory, queer theory, post-colonial theory, Marxist critique, and analyze its role in cultural power structure. As I already mentioned, how power structures work together in everything. The goal of this to study the porn studies are to critique power and inequality in how pornography represent. I don't know whether you have seen or not seen these things, but women are highly, the symbol of beauty, lust, love. Everything we see in this kind of things are highly controversial. Again, living in a man-centric world or society, this is our vision to look at women in such things are again problematic for us. So if you are studying cultural studies, and many people are doing research or a full-fledged study about how derogatory these things are going, and what kind of censorship are supposed to work. Goal. The critique power, and I think done with this, no? Sorry. Then we have food porn. Very easy again. People tend to feel satisfying pleasure from seeing the food, photography, or video and create an exotic desire. Food porn is very simple term, right? I think in the GSET 2023, it was a question from food porn, not totally directed toward the food porn, but there was a question. So this book by Rosalind Coward in 1948, Female Desire, discuss about the term food porn. Then we have this man studies. Many a times with you students, we usually formally discuss about the emergence of feminist theory, right? And now we need a theory of man studies. Is it so? I don't think, but please don't go with that. Feminism is against the man. Not at all, dear students. Feminism is never against the man. Feminism was against the patriarchy and the injustice and so many acts happening with this female in past bygone ages or from past life. That is what feminist study is dealing with. Feminist study never ever or anyway never ever said that stop men's and stop patriarchy. No, feminist studies always focusing about the progressive woman should be, right? So along with the feminism and man studies are, a kind of parallel thing that we can study, not against each of, had also emerged and how gained the momentum within the culture study. See, feminism is a bit old, we can say, but man studies are very current or very fresh. We can study. Many of you are going to have dissertations this year, right? So keep noting these things. These are very newly emerging theories that you can work upon for dissertation and ponder upon for our research as well. Okay, the first conference of men against sexism was held in UK in 1973. Okay, keep remembering dates and books. Okay, and also remember that which books belongs to or falls for which studies, right? The major texts of men studies are, okay, all you can see here. Within, a limitation of this PPT slide, I cannot add so many things. Yeah, so keep noting this thing, or you can ask the PPT. Then we have the Sedgwick wrote influential books such as Between Man, English Literature and Male Homosocial Desire, Epistemology of Closet, and a novel Gazing Queer Reading in Fiction. Okay, these all are related to man studies and very important for your upcoming examination. Definition of definition of man studies according to cultural perspective. Man study is an interdisciplinary academic field that critically examines man, masculinity, male identities as social and cultural construct. From cultural studies, it treats masculinity not as a fixed biological essence. See, male studies or female studies are not never ever constructed with the biological appearance of anybody. Right? All are human, all are same. As we all know, we already discussed a lot about it. So I'm not going to deal more about it. So do not, construct your mind that studying man is studying the constructive or biological body of man. Okay. Soon we have this in a further slide. There was biological essence, but as a product of history, culture, media, and power relations. The focus that man studies are usually ponder upon is how man identities are shaped by or contribute to structure of power, gender, inequality, and privilege, how men negotiate shifting gender roles in contemporary. Now we have this, a highly full-fledged emergence of feminism. Now it is the high time that the role is shifting by men to woman or woman to man. That is usually what I heard when I attend anyone's viva or when I attend anyone's lecture, that now women are taking the place of men. Why? Women are right at their place and men are right at their place. Okay, both are equal, both are needed to society, to family, and everywhere, right? Approach that men study are usually go with is examine masculinity as the actual narrative, not a natural giver. Goal is to challenge the gender inequality by examining men's role in patriarchy. Male students are usually, when I conduct a lecture, male students are usually coming, now we need a manism, now we need a man studies, ma'am, we cannot live like this. Nothing, we are not doing anything wrong to you, right? Okay. So be stress free, and we are looking upon to have man studies as well. So this time we have this man studies with us, right? So it's okay, fine. Transgender studies. Anyone has a little bit idea about transgender studies? Then raise your hand and just give a 1 or 2 word about transgender studies. Let us make this more interactive because I am talking since long. So I need your response as well because you are recorded here. Yes? Transgender studies. Anyone has a little idea about it? Scholars can also involve. Scholars might be no. Imisha, ma'am. Students are not speaking, actually. I am asking them. But it's already written here, I think, in PPT. Where is the PPT? Yes, gone? Okay. So it's written here. Now you can see. No, but you are not speaking it. Okay? And that is what I think cultural studies and people like me are doing. Chalo, leave. Transgender studies, it basically like those who are not biologically female fully or are not a male fully. Hi, who want to speak? Grishma? Sure. Please.
So the first thing which normally society asks to the trans people is whether they are male or female.
Yes.
The first thing, they are trans, but yet they have been asked, and still people have been asking them, educated people have been asking them that what actual gender is yours. And if even in today's times, I think from 5 to 6 years, they have been included in our democracy, that they have been given right to vote, or there is a specific column about them being different, and it is okay to be different. So even human rights activists are working very much profoundly on that topic. And there are several movies as well as TV shows also being made to know what actually they face, and even what they are going through, and we should normalize those people as well, which society till date is not able to that much.
Very good. You explained better than me, I guess. Okay. And other, any view or any experience? As she rightly said, that people are still asking them, what is your biological status currently? Mike.
What I have observed about it, that many categories under this title, as cultural study is an umbrella, right? So this title is itself umbrella. So under that, there is a great history behind it, that day by day the category is being increased year and year. So it is being kind of a, not it is trying to get out the under the title of minority, one can see that. Yeah, marginalized people.
Yes.
So they are getting light as years passes.
Yes, exactly. So these things are now, very much in trend, that people are voluntarily becoming the transgender just because they are, not satisfied with their gender. For example, a female, I'm saying, right? Females are usually not satisfied, and I want to be like men. This concept of tomboy, if you know, right? Because this topic is like that, we are supposed to discuss about it. Okay, so let us normalize it. Okay. So one of my friend, even I have experienced that she was a female biologically, and highly attracted towards having men's things, dress up like man, or talking like man, walking like man, and want to be a man, like, and there is nothing wrong in it. Okay. So so she done this, what we call this transgender operational things, and whatever they do, like, to change the gender. So she gone with the process as well. So you see how normal it is. It is like, happening among us, within us. I'm giving the example that one of my friend does this, right? So it is becoming very normal, as she said, like, and they are openly accepting these things, that yes, I'm transgender and I want to change my gender. And this the questions was in the last, I think, the January cycle of net, about this Judith Butler's book, Gender Trouble, and where he talked about the transgender people. And as Grishma mentioned, that so many movies and web series are made actually about transgender people. See, some of the, you can see from the images, you can understand that, how the perspective is going. The whole idea of universality is going to change. The man is, are getting pregnant, as you see in the, like, or a man are becoming a woman, or women are becoming man. Okay, they are marrying a woman, which is also a fine nowadays, right? Okay, men are doing makeup, which is not at all wrong, but the way we see sometimes, even our parents sometimes, if you know, or if you share something with them about, many times I imagine, then ask my friend that how you convinced your father, like, you are going to be from female to male is a tough process for anybody, right? So still we ask, I also ask the question. So I'm still a person with prejudice, I can say, because I asked the question. Okay, I myself don't want to do it to normalize it, so it was my mistake. Okay, fine. Based on the activism and real life experiences, all the cultural studies and all the things we are studying right now is, always emerge out of the real life experiences. We have transgenders in our life, we study body, that is why we see porn and we watch porn, that is why porn studies and this kind of studies are part of our life. Fear is gone already. Okay, so this time we are supposed to study this, all the things which are happening in our society. And this NTA is very serious about it. They keep on asking questions from this transgender studies. So even NET, GSET are also supporting us, so let us study this. Focusing on trans voices, uses many fields: sociology, law, medicine, and media. Main topics are trans history. Of course, it was in history, but never, come on the surface. Now coming, but earlier it was not. Medicalization, intersectionality, representations, rights, as she mentioned, that people are openly, vocally asking their rights about being transgender, and we need another rights for, please make another rights and seats for, reserved seats for us. Okay, goal to challenge gender norms. Of course, they are challenging. Women don't want to be women is a challenging social norm. Support social justice, that we are doing it, we are studying it, so are in a way providing justice to them by discussing them rightly. Okay, change how society understand the gender. Okay, these are the goal. Major works, of course, both works are very important, asked in the June cycle of net exam 2025. Okay, so I'm going fast. Transgender studies is again an interdisciplinary academic field that critically examine the lives, experiences, histories, identity, and cultural representation of trans, non-binary, and gender diverse people. It moves beyond a medicalization to see. Transgender is again a purely a medical term. Okay, it is a medical term if you want to discuss it, but we are studying for the reason. Identity-based framework studies trans existence, relation to society, politics, literature, media, law, and activism. The goal of studying transgender study is to challenge the deconstruct binary notions of gender, male, female, to foreground the voices, experiences, and a knowledge of transgender and gender diverse people. There is some term that one cannot be fully male or one cannot be fully female. That can be in between as well. That is also I forget the name, but छे એવું પણ ऐसा भी है वो पुरुष भी नहीं है, स्त्री भी नहीं है, बीच में ही है और वो ऐसे ही जीना चाहते हैं. Okay, it was mentioned in one film that he was strongly disagree the idea of being any of, like I don't want to be female, but both the lives are tough, so I want to stay in between. I'll come up with this name. Okay, so approach is question normative ideas of gender, challenges Western centric framework, and highlighting the indigenous and non-Western gender system. Animal studies. It is an emergent field of cultural studies again, and eco-criticism. Okay, I hope semester 3 students might be aware of eco-criticism, right? Which animals are studied in a variety of cross-disciplinary ways. The Australian philosopher Peter Singer's work, 1975 work, Animal Liberation, and Derrida's final lecture. This is very important. Please note down. The Animal That Therefore I Am in 1997. It is our important founding text of animal studies. When I was in my bachelor, I used to study this George Orwell's Animal Farm, if you are aware, where animals and pigs are characterized, in form of they have this language, they have this idea, which was I think political satire, if I'm not wrong. Political satire. That is also part of animal study. We can take as example. Then we have television and film studies, of course. So these are the all important names. I'm lacking time, so I'm not going. Please take a note or ask about this PPT I'll share. Okay. So these are the all important books in television, films, studies. Okay, which is very emerging brand. So many of my friends are doing research, even or PhD in film studies, comparative studies, like translations and the film adaptations. That is again a new branch you can study for your dissertation and for your research if you are going to have the plan of doing PhD, right? Disability study. all of you are aware, disability studies, right? And disability study is Net's favorite branch, I can say. Very favorite. It is an academic discipline that examines the meaning, nature, and consequences of disability. It deals with both the medical side of disability and the social consequences of it. No, I am on time. The disability, I am on time. Sir. The Disability Study Reader, 1997, Davies and American critics and specialized in disability studies addressed the post-identity theoretical landscape of emphasizing questions of independency and dependency of human-animal relationship. Okay, and the issue around the construction of materiality about the disability studies, an interdisciplinary academic field that critically examines disability, not just a medical. Again, disability is again a strongly a medical term, right? Having disability is not at all the part of literature. We are not supposed to study it, right? But the way a literature is taking the idea and reflecting in literature, like movies, web series, is again interesting. That is why you have to study it. Okay, so focus of disability study is that study live experience again, histories, rights of disabled people again, approach, challenge the stereotype, stigma, and systematic discrimination against the discrimination that maybe the transgender people face, or the other people may face, or even a woman face. The same discrimination was faced by the disability people as well. Imagine the way we used to look disabled people in our past years before coming here, before being matured enough. The way we used to look handicapped people, or our way of looking them is again different. Okay, so cultural study has a very problem with that no, you are not supposed to look like this. Okay, perspective, view disability as a form of diversity, right? Identity, culture, similar to gender, race, sexuality, and studies, all are same. Goal to promote inclusion, accessibility, and social justice. Okay, I think luckily I have seen all of these movies. Any of the movie, if you have seen related to this, okay, the black movie, like Amitabh Bachchan, I think training a girl child who is deaf and dumb, and the way he trained, that reflected in the whole movie, is very interesting. Shrikant is a very recent movie where a blind Nishta, yes, huh? Right. Cannot adjust so many templates in. So Shrikant is, I think, very recent movie where a blind student wants to study science actually, and the academicians are very against of the idea that blind student cannot study science stream. Okay, Barfi, I think everyone has seen. Hitchki, related to professor, right, who has this syndrome, I think. And this Margareta with straw was a question in the cycle of June 2020 about this disability studies. And Tare Zameen Par, all of you have seen Tare Zameen Par. Okay, so this is are the these are all this study of disability study. Now it's a test time, so be active, guys. So what you are supposed to do is that you are supposed to read a paragraph. Not you will get the idea. I put the easy paragraph. Okay, and you are supposed to say in where this writing belongs from. All the studies we have studies right just now is about them. Like, chalo. Raise your hand, don't whisper. Okay? Right. Yes? Sorry? No. Don't whisper, raise your hand. Yes, who answered this? True, very true. Chalo. This paragraph from which studies? Take. इतना जल्दी कैसे आ गया? अच्छा. Chalo, what is the right answer? Animal studies. Fine. Moving next. Raise your hands, okay? Okay, other students are coming from outside, you can answer, okay? Wait. True. Chalo, done. Transgender studies. Chalo. This paragraph from Grishma, no, this time no. No. Raise your hand, please. Who is answering? Sanjay, I heard you right. Very good, trauma studies. Yeah. Chalo, moving next. This paragraph from belonging to which studies? Yes, Radhika? There are cultural studies, the paper itself, yaar. Disability studies. Very good. This paragraph belongs to which studies? New students will answer. Grishma, no, sorry. Any new student? Huh? Yes, very good. Television and film studies. Take time and read, okay? You will get the answer within, I think, 2-3 lines. This. This is very easy, I guess. Don't whisper. Raise your hand. The students who already answered the questions are not supposed to speak this time. No. Men studies. Very good, Jay. Men studies. It was in second line, yeah. What you guys are doing? Chalo, next. Oh, sorry. So it was from my side. Thank you. Any question here? No question, only clapping. So I'm taking it with a good note. So thank you very much again, all of you, for being here, part of this session. And thank you very much again.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful session we had. So, for feedback, I would like to invite Nancy Vida to say a few words.
Hello everyone. Mem indirectly tell that literature is not about only stories, but also about full society and our daily activities like food. I'm very grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Now, I would like to invite Chetna Bhalia for her feedback.
Hello everyone. Today's session was all about contemporary studies by Tamsa ma'am. First of all, we all know Tamsa ma'am because she's a part of our department. So, and also ma'am covers very important topics like trauma studies with examples, body study, fact studies, movie studies, porn study, food porn studies, men studies, transgender studies, animal studies, and television and film studies, and also disability studies. And ma'am also take a test which is really interesting and very different from others. So yeah, definitely it will help us in our upcoming examinations. So thank you so much ma'am for your presence and your guidance. Your guidance means a lot to us, so thank you ma'am.
Thank you, Chetna. Now, from the students and the audience, if anyone want to give their feedback. Anyone?
Yes, good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself because I don't belong to department, but this department has given me a platform to view my dreams and to create a direction towards my dreams. So, first of all, thank you very much, everyone present here, and special thanks to Tamsa ma'am. One thing I knew after coming to attend GSET and NET lectures that I knew nothing. Secondly, all the cultural studies and all the theories which ma'am discussed about, one thing I took that I am at the conclusion that these theories are created to break our negative thinking towards the society. So I am willing to read such theories deeply. So thank you very much to provide all the information regarding each and every theory, so I can research deeply on them. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite Siddhiba Gohil for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our and everyone present, I sincerely thank Tamsa ma'am for her lecture and delivering such as insightful and encouraging lecture on net site preparations. Your guidance has not only clarified important concepts but also motivated us and aim higher in our academic journey. We are grateful for your invaluable time and effort and encouragement. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Siddhi. Now I would like to invite Smruti Vadher to give a token of gratitude to ma'am. And I would like to invite ma'am as well. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. And today we conclude today's session. Thank you so much.